Right, the first wine I'm going to be making is bramble wine, and this consists of blackberries. And it was my first attempt and it turned out lovely, so I'm going to show you how to make it. Luckily enough, I went blackberry picking in the summer, at the end of the summer. There we go. These are all sloes. These are blackberries. These are some raspberries that I bought. Let's get some blackberries out. A lovely blackberry. Scrub. Really good scrub. Right, the recipe I followed online said 1300 grams, 1.3 kilo, 400, 900. Right, we're going to have to stick some raspberries in this one. Right, okay, so after that disaster, I got some raspberries out. I picked these up in Sainsbury's, they were on offer, and I stuck them in the freezer. I knew they'd come in handy. Right, so we've got 1300 grams of blackberries and raspberries, and we're going to stick them in this massive big old bucket here. This is a fermentation bucket. And we're going to create what's called the must. The wine must. All your frozen berries in there. Okay, so the next part in making your must, you're going to boil the kettle. You're going to want about 4.5 litres of water, boiling hot water, and you're going to pour it all over your raspberries and your blackberries. Then you're going to get a big old spoon up and mix it up. Right, okay, I've boiled up. What we got here? 1.5 litres, unfortunately, that's all my kettle holds. So I'm going to put 1.5 litres in there to start off with. Oh, that smells amazing. Right, okay, so you got your hot water in there. I'm just waiting for the kettle to boil again so I can top it up. Because the fruit's frozen, it should all just split up and release its juice anyway. As you can see, the water's completely changed colour. It's just basically juice now. Looks like a black forest gatto. Try and get my hand out of the way because it keeps zooming in on that instead. So I'm going to dunk some more water in there in a minute when it's boiled. Here's a blackberry and raspberry that I made 3 months ago, just bottled it up. Ready to go, ready to drink. Tastes amazing. About 13% on the hydrometer. Okay, so time to put the sugar in. It's got to be 1300 grams. Which I think is going to be most of this bag. Just over half actually, sorry. Okay, so we've got 1300 grams pretty much of sugar. And now we're going to empty it into the bowl, into the bucket. It's very steamy in there, very hot. It has to be hot to dissolve the sugar. And this is how you make your must. Just pour them in there. And like a big fruity cup of tea, give it a stir. If you have a look at this, if you can get a bit out, and see how that's just gone to juice. There's a couple of few ones and bits in there, but most of it's just let all its juice out, and that's the best bit about freezing it. Freeze your fruit if you're going to make wine, because when it thaws out it just dissolves. Makes very good wine. Right, we need to check the temperature. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near the right temperature. It needs to be about 20 degrees, so I'm thinking from experience we're going to have to leave this. We're going to have to leave this to the next day, I think, for this to cool down enough to put the yeast in, because I think the yeast, it has to be about 20 degrees. I've got a thermometer anyway, I'll check it, but it's definitely too hot at the moment, it's steaming. But it's got to be hot to dissolve the sugar. Once the sugar's dissolved in it, it's cooled down to the right side, to the right temperature. We'll put the yeast in, the yeast nutrient and the pectolose. Yeast nutrient feeds the yeast, so does the sugar. And the pectolose makes the fruit release all of its juices. And you end up with what's called a must. And it's all the bits of fruit and juice, all with the yeast in it, it all ferments all in as one, so all the flavours of the juice come out.